Hey everybody, in this video we're going to be covering a really cool drill. It's going to help you with your self-defense and help you with your confidence in movement in martial arts in general. This is called transition sparring. Now transition sparring is designed to take you through multiple ranges of combat. So by this point in your training you should know that you've got 5 basic ranges of combat. You've got projectile, you've got long striking, you've got short striking, you've got standing grapple, and you've got the ground. We're going to go through 4 of those 5 ranges. We're not going to throw stuff at each other. As entertaining as that would be, maybe having a pillow fight or something, we're not going to do that today. All right, gentlemen? Okay, excellent. So we're going to start with our long striking range. We're going to start this just like we would any other type of sparring. We're going to bow to each other. We're going to promise to follow those rules. We're going to make sure we got plenty of room. Now, these gentlemen are not wearing sparring gear today, but for this particular type of sparring, you will be wearing sparring gear. You're going to be using either your kickboxing shin guards or just your regular foot pads. We're not going to wear hogus for this because you're going to want to be able to move around. That being said, whenever you're doing this type of sparring, you need to pay attention to where your core is and how tight it is, and making sure that you're not driving really hard strikes into the core with your partner because they're not wearing a hogu, and we want to keep our friends safe, okay? We will be wearing a helmet and your smaller gloves, not your big boxing gloves, because you're going to be doing some grappling and some grabbing here. All right, so essentially what happens is we're going to have these 4 stages. 1 is going to be your long striking. So if I shout out 1, or if the instructor that's working with you shouts out 1, you're going to be in that long striking range. If I shout out 2, you're going to be moving to your short striking range. That's knees, elbows, hook punches, that sort of thing that's in close. If I shout out 3, you're going to go to your standing grapple. Now notice that those 2 things are really close together. You might be grabbing somebody to throw some of those strikes, right? But when I go to 3, you're taking out all strikes. You're looking for control positions. You're looking for takedowns and sweeps, okay? So that is going to be your number 3. If I shout 4, you're going to drop to your knees from whatever position you're in. So if I'm working with Mr. Zander here, and maybe I've got him in this high clench position, and I say 4, and we hear the instructor say 4, from here, we're not going to change grips or anything. We're going to go straight to our knees, and we're going to start grappling. We can go to one knee or both knees, doesn't matter. We're going to start grappling for position, not necessarily for submission. So these 2 gentlemen are going to demonstrate this for us. So if you guys go ahead and step forward just a little bit, face each other and bow, and go to your fighting stance. Go ahead and bump knuckles there. Obviously, they're not wearing gear, so they're going to be simulating their strikes today. Ready? 1, begin. They're going to start out here. Now their speed is going to change a little bit as they're moving through this. They might be going a little bit faster here with their long striking range. When I call 2, go ahead and move into 2, gentlemen. They're going to be moving in. They're going to be throwing some of these closer strikes. They might be grabbing, throwing some knees, some elbows, that sort of thing. The elbows can very gently go to the head, but they're not doing that today because they like their partner, because their partner doesn't have helmets. Then, when I call out 3, they're going to immediately try to clench up and grab some kind of a control position. They're going to use their swim drills to either get a low clench or a high clench. They're looking for their sweeps, for their takedowns, anything like that. There you go, going for that inside sweep. I see that good. Oh, there was almost a takedown there. Now, when I call 4, go ahead and move back to the center here, gentlemen. When I call 4, they're going to drop immediately to their knees, and they're going to start grappling for position. So Mike is going to try to pull him back into guard. Xander's going to try to escape and go to a side control, so we end up in a half guard situation here. They're not really going for submissions here. They're just looking for the best position. All right, guys, go ahead and break. Nice work. Thank you so much for demonstrating that. So when you're doing this, you need to be very careful about what you're doing with your partner. Especially if you're in this clench position and you're throwing elbows and stuff, you need to make sure that you're throwing elbows not at their face, but rather at the sides of the head, okay? Again, we're not going to be striking. I'm going to go ahead and turn you, Mr. Michael. We're not going to be striking to the back of the head or the spine. Just like any other form of sparring, we don't want to do that. Thank you, so you may turn around. You may strike to the lower abdomen. You may not do any groin strikes in this particular type of sparring, although I do highly recommend that you should wear protection for that, whether you're male or female, because it's going to happen accidentally anyway. So please make sure that you're wearing some type of protection for that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is your transition sparring. Please do not practice this at home. This needs to be practiced with someone watching you to make sure that nobody gets hurt. Keep training, keep growing. We'll see you in the next video.